Hi, my name is Jason Zakowski. I'm a high school chemistry teacher, and this is my story about vaccinations with a little help from my dog, Bunsen. My vaccine story is about my grandmother, Marion Zakowski. In 1955, she got polio, ironically the same year as the vaccine came out. Polio affects the spinal cord. My grandmother was affected severely and wound up paralyzed from the chest down. Other women she knew wound up in iron lungs, and other people died. My dad remembers her as a hardworking mom, a poet, and a school teacher. I can't imagine trying to raise 4 boys with limited mobility. They have some pretty terrible stories about what they did to get out of trouble. Hiding on the other side of the bed where she couldn't reach them in her wheelchair, or sticking long sticks in the spokes of her wheelchair so she couldn't move to get after them when they were being bad. What makes my vaccine story so personal is I knew somebody who was affected by not having the choice to get vaccinated. My family does get very frustrated when we hear misinformation about vaccines or vaccine safety or the side effects. If my grandma had the choice, she would have been vaccinated in a second. And so, to help with the science of vaccinations, I'm going to introduce you to my dog, Bunsen. Without being vaccinated, the body must always be on alert to fight everything. It has no memory of new pathogens. So despite it being on guard and being our best protector, the process to fight something new is slow and confusing for it for the first time. Some pathogens like measles and polio are able to move around the body while our defenses are down. We have less armor to protect ourselves, and they gain the upper hand, which can lead to serious consequences. After we've been vaccinated, our immune system is more like a scientist than a warrior. It has remembered the pathogens it has been exposed to. Very quickly, if we're exposed to the pathogen again, our body can ramp up our immune response and immediately deal with the situation. It knows exactly which pathogen to go after and can stop the infection in its tracks. You are now immune to that pathogen. The only other way to get immunity is to have the disease, survive it, and have the same memory stored within your immune system. There is no other way to get immunity. Before doing this video, I asked Bunsen's followers on social media about their stories about vaccinations. The response was enormous. Many people responded saying that they were reliant on herd immunity as they could not get vaccinated themselves. It was also shocking about how many people responded that they had a family member that suffered from polio as a result of not being able to get vaccinated. During that time, people lived in fear of polio. People didn't go to the park. Weddings were canceled. It was a terrifying time. One of the reasons people tell me they don't get vaccinated is those diseases aren't around anymore. But that's wrong. They are. Measles, polio, whooping cough, they're lurking in the shadows, ready to strike. And when enough of us aren't vaccinated, huge calamity can break out again. My grandmother, if she was still alive, would tell everybody to take a second and get vaccinated. So to close, vaccines are incredibly important. I have my own personal story. My grandmother suffered from polio as a result of not being able to get vaccinated. Oh, and another thing. Vaccines don't cause autism. Bunsen, could you check that out?